Oh heck, this isn't pointed right. Let's try that. Howdy, I'm Grey Pilgrim. The other day, I and another YouTuber were looking through my cousin's collection of junk parts from years of collecting while he ran a small shop, basically a leather workshop, but he had a partner who had a gun store in the same location. And he also, the other fellow dealt with modern firearms, but my cousin was more into black powder. And so he collected, junk, took in things to fix and repair, other things that people just had no use for, and he'd picked up all along the way. And he just threw them into a junk pile, and he brought over the tubs of the junk over here. Anyway, from all the parts in there, tinkering around in it, I built this. This is a Philadelphia Derringer, pretty well known in history. And, I just took it out and tried it out for the first time today. I loaded it with about 15 grains of homemade 3F, a 451 ball wrapped up in a rag. Used a little bit of olive oil as a lube. And though the fact that I used a CCI cap that seems to be less than ideal, it worked. You'll notice I'm going to throw on the end of this the test shot I took. What I did is I went and Googled up a picture of a particular lawyer that the fellow who used this had a real beef with. The fellow who used this was a scion of an ancient family of actors in the U.S. There were only 4 or 5 of them that were considered superb actors, and he was not bad. He was a handsome devil, but his loyalties were definitely to the South, not to the North. And this is in the 19th century, of course. And in 1865, he made a political statement where he walked into the balcony booth in the Ford Theater where they were playing My American Cousin was the play. And I think I don't remember if it was during intermission or during the first or second scene of the thing, but he walked up behind the main occupant, which was Abraham Lincoln, his wife Mary, and a couple of friends, another fellow and his fiance, and put this gun to the back of Lincoln's head and pulled the trigger. And he said, and as I said in my video, sic semper tyrannis, which means thus to all dictators. That was one the state motto of the state of Virginia, and 2, what according to Shakespeare, what one of the senators said to Julius Caesar, as they stabbed him in the forum, and has been used to describe, or a variant of it, describe taking out a dictator many, many times. It was part of a huge plot, but the only one who really succeeded was James Wilkes Booth. They were trying to assassinate Lincoln's vice president and the rest of his cabinet, but all the other guys either chickened out, got drunk, or just it was a what we would call a Charlie Foxtrot, let's say. Anyway, after Lincoln was dead and Johnson was made president, the Army, at first had declared martial law in Washington City, and they had rounded up all of the people involved in it. I think they ended up hanging 8 of them. And, Lincoln is now remembered as the great emancipator and has big statues of him all over the place. And Booth is not considered much of anything. By the way, when he jumped from the balcony down to the stage to make his escape, he broke a leg, which, by the way, is the origin of the theater. Have a good play today when you go out there, and your fellow thespians will say, "Break a leg." Well, that's where it came from. Trivia for the day. Well, anyway, I think Booth was originally cornered in a barn somewhere, and I forget if he was shot at the scene or I know he was hung, but I don't remember. And I know they set the barn on fire, and he might have been burned. I don't know. I'm not that versed on what happened to has-been actors after their last call. Anyway, Philadelphia Derringer, and by the way, it works. It's a little bit warts and all shaky, but it works. Not bad for just spending a few hours, actually quite a few hours, looking through a collection of parts and finding all the little screws you need, and the trigger group and the hammer, and getting it all put together, you know. And it, I think it looks pretty good, don't you? That's all I got to say. Happy trails. Well, I think that's working. This, just a minute here. Let me see if that's actually showing. Just 1 second here. That's good enough. This is not a political statement. This is only for demonstration purposes only. Sic semper tyrannis. Oh, shucks. Worked.